Hello, welcome to Coding the Past. In this video, I will show you how to use Google Colab to program in R. Google Colab is a platform provided by Google that allows you to program online in the cloud without the need to installing anything. So the first time to do that is to search for Google Colab. And the first result is already the platform. The first thing you have to do is create a new notebook. It will by default be saved on your Google Drive. So of course you have to have a Google account to access all these services. As soon as the notebook is created, you can already rename it. So for example, I will rename it to Coding the Past Baby Names. That is the name of the package we will be using. To be able to program in R, you will have to do a small change in the runtime. So you select the menu Runtime, change runtime type, and select R instead of Python 3. Then you can save, and you can already start programming in R. That easy, right? One disadvantage of using Google Colab is that you will have to install the packages every time you want to use a new notebook or every time you open a notebook. So for this example, we are going to be using the package baby names. One advantage of having to install the packages every time is that you are going to force yourself to program without using too many packages. And then you don't depend on these packages for your code, and that's really good. So if you press Command MB, you will have a new cell of code. And while the package is being installed, I will already load it. So it was installed, and now I will load it, and then it will make Command MB for a new cell. It will make the baby names data frame available for me. So I want to check the structure of the baby names data frame. What is this data frame? It's a collection of names from the US, and it gives you the year, the name, and the number of kids that were registered in that year with that name, and whether they were female or male, and also a proportion of that name in comparison to the total of kids registered in that particular year. So you have year as a numerical, then sex as a character, name as also as a string, and n as an integer. So as an example, I would like to show you, for example, the popularity of my name throughout time. So again, Command MB will add a new cell, and I would like to filter only the entries of the name Bruno. So to do that, usually I would use dplyr, which is a library of R to filter a data frame. But in this case, since I want to avoid install new packages and use them, I will do that by indexing. So I will create a new data frame called BrunoDF, and I will filter baby names to include only the lines, the rows, where the column name is equal to Bruno. And I also want to include all the variables, all the columns. So I leave it with a space here, and that means that I want all the columns. So now it was filtered. Here I should have only the registers with the name, the entries with the name Bruno. So Command MV, and then I can already plot the popularity of my name over time. So again, I won't use ggplot in this case because I don't want to use another library. So in the x-axis, I will have Bruno TF year, and in the y-axis, I will have n. And then I would like it to be a line instead of a point. So the type of plot is L. And I would also like to add a title. Popularity of the name Bruno. And that should be all. So here you can see, I will just zoom in a little bit, that my name was very popular in the 20s of the 20th century, and then it became a little more rare, and it became popular again in the 80s onwards. And remembering that, just reminding yourself that this data is for the US. And the name Bruno is actually not that popular. If we check, for example, let's add another cell and just print the data frame, you will see that actually there are few kids that are named Bruno here, 10, 18, and even now, over the last years, when the name has become more popular, it's actually a very small number compared to the total. So it's not that popular. And what about your name? Would you like to try? I hope you liked this tutorial, and I hope this was useful for you. And see you next time. Bye-bye.